Hello, everybody. This is probably going to be a little bit short today because I don't have a whole lot. Because we have spent a buku of time, and I do mean a buku of time. It's been a good little bit since I made the last video, and I have been cleaning, and fixing and cleaning and fixing, but I hadn't filmed a whole bunch of it. There was a lot of white death erosion in there. I don't know how good y'all can see that. There's a little inclusion there, air pocket. I filled that in with some JB Weld after blasting it and treating it. I got a new O-ring on the plunger here. Cleaned the oil pump up. I didn't film cleaning it because all I was doing was washing it. I did install the new mount on here. I put the intake on 4 bolts, so you know I've got this is cleaned up. I got the gaskets here. We're gonna put the oil cup on. Basically is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna put the oil cup on, and we may go ahead and knock the other fin off the flywheel. And if you're wondering what that's all about, well, when I pulled it off, this fin's broke off the flywheel, and that will throw it out of bounds. So what we do is we count them. There's 16 fins, so I'll go from here and count around to 8, which is this one. We'll break this one off, and then we'll grind them flush with the base of the flywheel, which should keep it fairly balanced, so it's not, really shaky. But that's what you do in the case of, well, this. So anybody that's wondered before, if you got a flywheel fin broke off, break the one directly off from the other side, grind them as flat as possible, and they'll be pretty close to balanced. Trying to think if there's anything else I gotta show you right now. There ain't nothing else that I know. I did put this back on, but it's just, I cleaned it up, and just a little goop around it and slapped her on there and tightened it up. So the action of this thing, it feels good, and I ain't kidding. It turns nice, and we are ready to put it together. Now, I did have to make this gasket because I am out of them, so I've got to call Brian Genrick and see about getting some more. But it's neither here nor there. I needed it, so I've done it. I had to grind these holes a little bit. I just ground them because I made them a little bit smaller because my hole puncher's only a certain size. So I punch them with a hole puncher, and then I grind them a little bit. Now I'm going to put a little bit of Permatex on both sides of this. Why? Because I don't like stuff that leaks. And when you got a lot of this older stuff, it's got some white death and stuff like that on it. It's better if you put a little bit of Permatex on it. So I'm just going to put very, very small amount on here. Just mainly just dab it on there and rub it down so that you can see it. That way, if there's any holes or anything like that, it'll fill them in. If you do see a big hole, put a little bit more on the big hole. And I don't mean the bolt holes. Okay. And also putting this stuff on here, like down here at the bottom, it does stop moisture from getting in between the plates and letting moisture and stuff get in there and being able to cause corrosion and stuff. So that's another reason why I like to do that. Because down here it doesn't make any difference. It only seals right here. But putting it on there can keep it from from going anywhere and getting into here and stuff. See, there's a lot of corrosion in there from moisture and stuff being able to get in there, so I'll lay it on there pretty good, because this ain't gonna do nothing but squish out. But just when you start getting up into this area is when you got to be. Of course, where this is at, even if you put a bunch in there and squish that, it probably ain't gonna hurt nothing. But you don't want to put no more in there than you really have to. Just enough to make sure it seals up good. And you can smear as much on there as you want to, as long as you just keep smearing it and smearing it and smearing it until it all gets smeared up in there nice and good. And this thing's pretty porous, so it takes a good little bit to actually get some coverage on it to make it where it's sticky. Just try not to fill in this hole right here. The bolt holes, it doesn't hurt you get a little in the bolt holes. But this hole right here, that's for the rod, for the oiler. So you don't want nothing in it. We're going to take this gasket and make sure we line up. This is a sided gasket. The two holes go to that side. We're going to squish it down on there like so. And we're going to put a little bit of wipe our fingers off. You're not going to do this without getting glue everywhere, so just so you know that. And right here, there's some porosity. I don't think there were any holes, but I am going to fill them up with the glue, because it was really porous right there. And I want to fill them in. That way there won't be no problems. You can see there's a lot of porosity in this thing, and well, you could go in there and sand it and re-lap it and stuff like that. And so if it was bad enough, I would, but these gaskets are thick enough that they will take some of it on, and I just put this stuff right here on it. And this is just to stop it from leaking oil, okay? As long as it don't leak oil, that's the main thing. That air's on the other side. This is the oil. There we go. We're going to make sure the sealer's out of that hole again. Like that. This and like that and like this and we're going to set her up in there. And make sure this plunger is in the hole. And I put a new O-ring on that plunger too, by the way. Tighten it up. We just want to snug it enough that it'll hold it up in there and get that plunger in there. Because I got to move it a little bit yet. Got to move it a little bit yet. Getting these lined up sometimes can be a little bit of a pain in the birchkey. cup installed. I'm gonna put this lid back on here for now. I think that's the main thing. Beep. Alright. Well, there's proof right there. I just did it. Yay for me. Now let's take it back apart and do it for real this time. I made a mess out of that. Well, at least I got glue on both sides. I reckon. I'm gonna wipe that off there. Stick this on here. Whoops. Well, for anybody who thinks that I never do screw up, I do. I do just like everybody else does. Most of the time I try not to, but it does happen occasionally. Well, there's a good one for you right there. I try not to do that, but okay. Okay, now that we did that twice, I'll go back and just kind of wipe some of the sealer off. There's enough to push out a little bit anyway. It's not a whole lot, but we're gonna make sure the oil pump shaft will push, and it will. So, ta-da. There we go. All right. Now, one thing I haven't got done is the gas tank's not cleaned good. I did clean it a little bit, but it's not very good. So I'm gonna set this over here just to get it out of the way, because I don't like stuff to get in things. So we're gonna look at this. All right, broken key, a broken fin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there is 16. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it'd be that one directly across from it, right down the middle of the hole. So if you're squeamish, look away. Some people think this is a terrible thing to do, and well, I agree with it, but it's what needs to be done. Okay. Now see, you could literally just leave it like that, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my sander and sand over the ends of them just to make them smoother. I know somebody's not gonna agree with it. I wouldn't be breaking them off if there wasn't one already broke off, okay? Just understand that. I'm not going to break them off to make them lighter. But because one's broke off, it makes it usable. I mean, you could have them balanced and all that stuff, but we don't have all that stuff to do with this, so we're going to do this. Look, there's a tick crawling on me. That's an actual tick, too. We sparked his plug. Oh well. Watch out for ticks in your area. There was that one. Now, see, it doesn't look so bad now. See, it's just ground about flush. Just ground about flush. And that should make the flywheel pretty well balanced. You know, if you're going to be spinning like super fast, you might want to, but this saw's not good. These things aren't super high revving saws to start with. They just ain't. If you go to rev them too much, the rod won't stay in long. So you got to be mindful of that. Oh. Now Chris said he didn't want me to paint this thing, so I have not put any paint on it. I just haven't. Alright, give me a second. I'm gonna move the flywheel key just a hair. Alright. I actually went ahead and drove the flywheel key in there. I just took just a little bit off it. They do make a 5-degree advanced flywheel. I don't usually advance the flywheels a whole lot on these things because you have to really change the timing, you have to move the points. And right now, we're not going to move the points at this time because I set them back where they was at because it ran. So, see, it won't move much. It's just a little bit. So, I think that went with the clutch. There shouldn't be a washer on this flywheel. Alright. Wire brush hook in there or something. Put the nut on there, and there's a little bit of tension on it, so that's a good thing. Let's see if we can spin it without hammering on it. I didn't take it loose, but I also wanted to make sure it was tight. Oh yeah. I think she's gonna be a good one. Got that on there. Now I think we're gonna run 3/8 on this thing. So I need to find a 3/8 sprocket. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna have to apologize. I got to find a few more pieces. All right, y'all get on in here. I had to go get this thing. It goes right here. Right here. Keeps the trash out. Holds that oil rod kind of in place, sort of. I cleaned these bolts up. They still got a little bit of crud in them, but we'll get it in there anyway. That's the main thing. Let's see if I can find all the clutch pieces. We'll stick the clutch back on it. Oh, screw, why are you getting to be so? Well, that's not funny. Something's going on with this screw hole. Must be some debris in it or something. Of course, that's not hard to believe. I did blast and everything on this thing, but I thought I got it all clean. Then I washed and washed and washed. But that don't mean that I got every piece of the stuff out of there. Sometimes you can still have a little something in there even though you don't see it. Of course, could be the wrong screw too. I don't think it is, but for some reason that screw just does not want to go in that hole. See if I can figure out what's going on. There's something tightening it up in there. Alright, let me remedy this and I'll bring you back. Alright, we're going to try it again. I went and cleaned the end of the bolt up. Run a tap down in it. So, I don't know why. Well, let's see what happens this time. There must have been something in there. That's all I can figure. I don't know what it was. Couldn't see anything. The hole looked clean. The threads looked good. But it wouldn't go. But it does now. My arthritis is on fire today, y'all. My elbow's killing me. That looks nice, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yes, it does. Okie dokie, Smokey. There's supposed to be a bigger washer on this thing. Supposed to be a bigger one than that anyway. Let me have a look in here and make sure. Well, that one goes there, I reckon. Sometimes there's stuff ain't exactly right on these things. Let me go find the sprocket. Oh, I just about forgot. Got the clutch drum cleaned up. Went got us a 3/8 by 8 sprocket. We're going to put an 8-pin sprocket on it. 3/8. Why? Because it should be able to pull it. Shouldn't be no problem pulling an 8-pin sprocket. Got everything cleaned up. Got some grease on the burn. There we go. There was a lot of grease in the clutch. I don't know why. Just wiping a little bit of that gunk off of there. Get a little brake cleaner. So some of that stuff turned into a real black, nasty mess. There we go. This one actually has the cap cover the clutch. This thing was a pain in the butt to get off here. Y'all remember that? I don't know why. Didn't it? There we go. You can hear the reeds. Clean the spark plug up. This plug doesn't look bad at all. It's a little dirty. That's a good crisp edge on this plug. I don't know if this is an old plug. I don't know. But the edge is nice and crisp on it, so we're going to reuse it. And we'll see what happens. She should have all kinds of compression. Oh yeah. Still got pretty good compression even with the decomp valve pushed. Now I did go ahead and fix these holes. I didn't film it because I didn't know what I was going to have to do, so I just went through and rethreaded them, cleaned the holes out. They look good up in there, and I made new bolts to go in them. Luckily, those screws that they had put in there did not go in very far. We'll see how long these screws actually are. And I ground these till I ground them down till the bracket just wouldn't tighten up quite all the way. It would, when you snugged it down, you could still move it, but it was loose, but it wouldn't rock. And then I just added a washer to it. So these holes are within 50 thousandths of the bottom of the hole. And I ground each screw individually because that's the top one, that's the bottom one. So, yeah, they're going where they're supposed to go, and I am going to put a little bit of Loctite on. I am going to add some Loctite to it because I've had these screws fall out of mine. And I know that they will. One of mine I actually had to rethread it and put a different size screw in it. This is the top one. Wipe most of the juice off. Get back in there. This is the one that came out on mine, the top one. juice on the back side of this one. That way it's got plenty on it when you push it through there. And this is blue lock type. That way it's not so strong you can't get it back off. You know what? I might be shooting myself in the foot here, because that's a pain in the butt to get in there. Oh. I may take that back off. But that's as far as we're going to make it today. Because I still got to clean the coil up. And I've got to do some more cleaning on the gas tank until I'm satisfied with it. Because it is a filthy mess. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope there's something in there you get to see and learn from. Putting these together ain't that hard. It's a little aggravating, but it ain't that bad. But, alright, I'm going to take this back off before the glue dries, so I'm going to finish it up, and I will talk to y'all later. Alright, y'all have a good day. Stay safe, be kind, treat each other the way you'll be treated. God bless. Remember, Jesus loves you. Bellhopper out. Oh, yeah. If you need a saw porter, I have openings. So, get them sent before they fill up. Bye, y'all.